Welcome back, everybody, to the Wealth and Wellness Report podcast. Today's episode is titled Break the Freeze and Overcoming Analysis Paralysis in Business and Life. I'm your host, Diego, and I want to get right into it. So let's talk about something that we've all been guilty of at some point. Overthinking, waiting for the right time, telling ourselves we just need to do a little more research before we take action. We're all guilty of this, you guys, where we're just stuck in the thinking mode of a project. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. We all do this. So today, I want to dive into doing something that is going to kill more dreams, businesses, and opportunities than failure ever will. It's called analysis paralysis. We're all guilty of it, even me. So this episode is for anyone who's been stuck in the loop. You've got the vision, you've got the drive, the plan, but for some reason, you can't seem to move. What's going on with that mental block inside of you that's limiting your action? So today we're breaking it down. What analysis paralysis really is, why it shows up, and more importantly, how to break it and beat it once and for all. It's going to take a little brain power. It's going to take a little reflection. You're going to have to go inside. You're going to have to figure out why are you not taking action? There's always a reason. So if you guys aren't familiar with this show, this is the Wealth and Wellness Report. Again, I'm your host, Diego. Let's get into it. Why the freeze? Why do we freeze? Why is analysis paralysis prevalent in our lives, in our business? You know, people think analysis paralysis is just overthinking, but it's deeper than that, I think. It's actually your nervous system doing its job, keeping you safe from the unknown. That mystery, that uncertainty, that level of unknowingness in an environment that you've never been in is a big reason why we get stuck. Our brains hate uncertainty. They equate the unknown with danger. So when you're standing at the edge of a big decision, maybe starting a business or making that investment or even posting that first piece of content, your mind goes, hold up. Let's stay here a little longer. I need to rethink this. I need to break it down into multiple parts and dissect it 7 ways to Sunday. And guess what? That's a trap. You confuse thinking with progress. You mistake planning for movement. I remember when I first started Circlefoot, I spent weeks perfecting the business plan, tweaking the logo, researching competitors. But guess what? Nothing mattered until I actually picked up the phone, called the client, and got to work. Nothing happened until I started knocking on doors and shaking trees, trying to find people to buy my products and services. So thinking doesn't move you forward, action does. Action will always trump thinking. You're going to make more progress if you take imperfect action than if you are just analyzing everything, like I said, 7 ways to Sunday. So there's a science to this. The science of being stuck. Let's talk about the wiring behind this. When you're in a state of indecision, your body literally interprets it as a threat. Your cortisol spikes, your prefrontal cortex, that part that makes you those executive decisions, it gets flooded with stress, chemistry, and then guess what? You freeze. You're like a deer in the headlights in that situation. It's not because you're lazy. You're just unmotivated. You're in fight or flight mode, or sometimes you're in freeze mode. And freeze is sneaky because it disguises itself as productivity. You'll say to yourself, I'm still researching, or I'm waiting until this is perfect. That's the freeze response dressed up in a suit and tie. It's going to get you so stuck, and there's going to be an inability to take on more projects as you scale and grow because of your analysis paralysis. So how do we get unstuck? we start by naming those triggers. And I want to go into the 7 triggers that keep you stuck. And this is where we get into the science part of it. We break it down section by section. And unlike a lot of what you see on social media, this is an actionable list of items that you guys can implement into your regiment, into your life, into your business, and into your mindset, more importantly. So let's break down the big 7. If you're driving, just nod and we'll just pretend like you just make sure to go back into the video or into this and go through them one by one. So number 1, too many options. When everything's possible, you pick nothing. The human brain loves choice, but it hates complexity. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, fuzzy goals. You don't know exactly what done looks like. You'll never feel ready to start. So get clear. Make sure to simplify your travel from A to B. And number 3, perfectionism. Trying to make it perfect before you start. That's a fear of judgment disguised as high standards. Professionals ship, then they improve. Number 4, this one I'm super guilty of because I try my best to do as much research as possible. Number 4 is over-research. You've read the blogs, you bought the courses, you watched the videos, still haven't acted because learning without doing is a delay tactic. Number 5, lack of constraints. When there is no deadline, there's no urgency, and then there's no accountability, and then you drift. Speed to lead is always going to win the sale. And number 6, comparison. This is the doom scrolling, dude. You scroll social, you see someone else already doing what you want to do, and then you think, well, they've got it covered. Wrong. There's room for everyone, especially you. Do not compare yourself to others. It is the doom scroll syndrome. Number 7, environment friction. A cluttered workspace, an unsupportive circle, those notifications, all of it compounds into the freeze. So make sure to unclutter your desk. Make sure to close all those tabs on your computer. Be clear and intentional. Now, once you know your triggers, you can dismantle them, and let's talk about how you can do that. This is the action toolkit. Here's the fun part. How to break the freeze and then get back into motion. Every problem is a solution. And if you flip your mindset and you say to yourself, well, this is an opportunity for me to scale and grow and get better at life, you're going to be looking at problems a lot differently. So number 1 is the clarity sprint. Take 15 minutes, write it down. One outcome you want to achieve this week. Get clear. Take a 15 or 20 minute meditation session in the morning or at a lunch break. Just really stop thinking about so much and just be. The next 3 visible actions, when you do them, it's going to be really important. And that's it. You've just replaced overwhelm with clarity. Intention, clarity, and limiting your comparison to others is going to get you moving further along the road. And also the 2-minute rule. I love this one because it takes 2 minutes to start. Start. Don't overthink. Just open the laptop, write down the title, or send the text. If it takes 2 minutes or less, take action. That's your mental trigger. Number 3, your first ugly draft. Stop waiting for perfection. If it's 80% good, then it's 100% awesome. Make your first draft intentionally bad because momentum always beats mastery. Number 4, decision deadlines. Set a time limit. Get that stopwatch. I call it the 70% rule. If I'm 70% confident by Friday, I move. Most decisions are reversible anyway. So just do it, you guys. Nike made billions of dollars on that one phrase, just do it. Number 5, pre-mortem thinking. Ask what could go wrong, then plan for it. That's power. not paranoia. Number 6, constraint stacking. Use creative limits. 1 take, 1 minute, 1 message. I use this when I'm recording reels. It forces me to focus. And number 7, action sprints. 50 minutes on, 10 minutes off, or 25-5. The rhythm trains your brain to expect closure. It's always good to take a break. And if you time block in that way, you're going to be way more productive. Sometimes it's 30 minutes, 10. So 30 minutes of action, 10 minutes of break. Whatever works for you guys, but time block. It's going to make your lives a whole lot easier and get you out of the stuck mode. Real world examples. These are really important when you're surfing through social media or you're trying to learn how to unlock this superpower. So when I look back, every big move in my life started messy. My first client call, I stumbled through it. My first YouTube video, we had awkward lighting. I had a bad mic. I stumbled over my words, but that action built the muscle. It's like when you guys go to the gym and you haven't gone in a while, that first day, your muscles are going to be sore. That second day, your muscles are still going to be sore, but you continue to do the work and the reps. All of a sudden, your muscles are able to take more of the disturbance and build strength. And here's the truth. Clarity doesn't come before action. It comes from action. So let that sink in. You don't think your way into clarity. You act your way into it. It is all about taking massive, imperfect action. If you're having trouble, work with somebody that takes massive action. Get on a team that forces you to take action. Because at the end of the day, if you don't take action, those who do are going to compound the results and they're going to be far ahead of you, especially if you're the one who's yearning for growth. You want to scale. And that's a mindset shift and a mini challenge I want everybody to do. Let's reset the belief system. Perfection is not the goal. Progress always is. Every time you take imperfect action, you teach your nervous system that it's safe to move. That's how confidence is built, not through theory, but through evidence. Competence builds confidence. So the more reps you do, the more competent you will become, and ultimately the more confident you will become. So take on the reps. Get in there. It's okay to be messy. It's okay to fuck up. It's okay to make mistakes. Fail forward. Continue the path and just do it. And the challenge is, after this episode, set a timer for 10 minutes. Pick one thing you've been avoiding, whether it's sending that email, starting that side hustle, recording that video. You guys, just start. Just start. It is going to make you so much more confident to take action as time goes on because you're getting the reps in, you're doing the work. And even though you might fail, don't worry about what others think of you when you fail, because a lot of people are afraid of being seen failing. And ultimately, if you don't care what other people think and you fail, then you're failing forward. Don't aim to finish, just start. And if you do it, tag me. Tag me on all my socials. I want to hear about it, you guys. At Diego J. Torrelio on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the channels. I want to celebrate your win. I want to know that you guys overcome that challenge or overcame that challenge of getting started, of the inability to take action. It happens to me too, but I've learned over 15, 20 years that taking massive action, especially imperfect massive action, is going to get me further along in life and in business than if I were to just sit there and think through things until the end of the day. And by the end of the day, I've wasted hours and hours and hours. Analysis paralysis is a liar. It tells you that waiting keeps you safe But what it really does is keep you small. And I know if you're watching this, you want to grow, you want to scale, and you want something bigger in life that's going to bring you joy, fulfillment, and content. Remember, movement creates momentum. Action creates clarity, and clarity creates confidence. Competence creates confidence. So wherever you are right now, don't overthink it. Just take that step. You guys, my name is Diego Torrelio. This was a short episode of the Wealth and Wellness Report podcast. If this episode hits home, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with somebody who's stuck. Because sometimes the best thing you can do for someone else is remind them to move. Thanks for watching, y'all. We'll see you on the next episode.